All right, we are going to start with our chain. So to start our chain, we're going to wrap that around our fingers. We're going to make that crisscross. And then I come to the back side here because that's where I can put my hook. And I'm going to grab that loose piece of thread and pull it through. I want that on my hook. So then I can take my fingers out. I kind of have this pretzel form here, and I can make that knot close to my hook here. And what I want to do now is I'm going to do my chain. So I usually hold my thumb right here, and then I drape the long piece of string over my first finger so that the rest of them can hold that thread. So it's like I'm letting it escape over my first finger here. Because what I want to do is grab my knot here so that I can grab my thread and pull it through the loop. All right, so that's one chain. So we're going to continue with this. We're going to do a single stitch after I make my chain. So a single stitch, if I want to do 10 stitches, then I am going to create 11 chains. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and notice I'm continuing to grab this here with my thumb, and I'm grabbing further up on my chain here so I have some tension. So when I hook my yarn here, I can let it slide through here. So that would be number 8, 9, 10, and one more, 11. All right, so now I have my chain, and what I'm going to do is I'm already in this loop here, so I'm going to come back through each one of these loops here. So each one of these spaces is where you're going to put your hook as you make it back down the chain. So you are going to put I have my thumb on my loop here, my yarn draped over here. I'm going to go through the chain. Here's the crisscross up here. I'm going through the chain, hooking my piece of yarn, coming back through the chain. So now I have 2 on the hook. I'm going to put my thumb down here. I am going to grab again and now come back through both loops, and that is 1 stitch. So now I'm going to the next chain loop. I'm going to yarn over, pull it through. I have 2 on the hook. I have my thumb on there. I yarn over, bring it through, and there's my second stitch. So I'm going to continue all the way down the path here, right next door. So I'm holding my loop, going through the loop on the chain, yarn over, come through. Now you have 2 loops, yarn over, come through both. Next one here, so I automatically grab that so it's out of my way so it doesn't fall. Go through my chain, grab my yarn, yarn over, come through, hold on to both, yarn over, go through both. Go through my chain, yarn over, come through both, hold on to both loops, yarn over, come through both. Moving right on down the road here, yarn over, come through the chain, yarn over, come through both. Through the chain, yarn over, come through both, hold on to those loops, yarn over, come through both loops. Go through the chain, yarn over, come through my chain, yarn over, come through both loops. Go through the chain, holding on to that loop, yarn over, come through, you have 2 loops, yarn over, come through both. Last one, go through the chain, yarn over, come through, you have 2 loops, yarn over, come through both. Now, these 2 pieces of thread or yarn right here show me that this is a stitch. Okay, that's a full single stitch. What I need to do is I need to chain 1 at the end for a single stitch to bring it up to the next step. So I know I've chained because there's only 1 piece of thread right there, or yarn, all right, 1 loop. So now I need to turn it, and I'm going to go back now in the other direction. But this time I need to come under my stitches, and my stitches are each one of these things that looks like a V, all right? So you can even count to make sure that you have the right amount of stitches. So I don't count that one because that's what I'm through. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I have the correct amount. So this is going to be the exact same routine, only now what we're going to do is we're going to go underneath the stitch. And we have to make sure that we go underneath both of them. So I'm going to hold on to my loop on my hook. I'm going to go underneath the stitch. That's both of those right here. I'm going to yarn over, pull through. I have 2 on the hook, yarn over, go through both. So the stitch part is the same, but now as we're building, we got to make sure that we go underneath both stitches. So underneath the stitch, yarn over, come through, 2 on the hook, yarn over, come through both. Go through the stitch. So I'm looking for this little gap in between. So here's my little lump, and there's the gap, so like the hill and the valley. So I'm going to put my hook through the valley here, and that's beneath the stitch, both of them. Yarn over, come through both, hold on, yarn over, come through both. All right, I'm under the stitch again, yarn over, come through, 2 on the hook, yarn over, come through both. All right, looking for that little valley right here, going underneath that stitch, yarn over, come through, yarn over, come through both. All right, looking for that little recess or that valley, going underneath the 2 stitch there, yarn over, come through, yarn over, come through both. Next one, go under the stitch, yarn over, come through, yarn over, come through both. All right, we have 3 left. Go through that little valley under the stitch, yarn over, come through both, yarn over, come through both. All right, next stitch, yarn over, come through, 2 on the hook, yarn over, come through both. Now this last one, because it's the end, it might be a little difficult to determine, but here's my stitch right here. All right, still the little valley right there. So I'm going to make sure that I go through under both of those yarn pieces there, and I'm going to yarn over, come through both. I have 2 on the hook, yarn over, come through both. All right, and you're going to continue this all the way. And just like I did at the other end, at this end, I need to make sure that I chain before I turn. And then you can count too to make sure that you have all of the stitches. So I'm not going to count that one because that's the one I'm in, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have all of my stitches. So you're going to keep going until you have a nice, neat little square. And that's what it looks like from the side.